Waiters slash servers of Reddit. What is the best clapback you've delivered to a rude customer? Live in a small town. Worked in a fish and chip shop, one of two in the town. We were a tourism town, and one of the main attractions was the award-winning fish and chips, top 5 in the county, while I was there. People in the town believed we were in massive competition with the other shop. We weren't. We had 25 plus staff, they had around 7 to 8, and we were serving thousands more customers than them per week or even per day in summer. So, on the rare occasion, whenever a customer got angry they would simply exclaim, well, I'm going to insert supposed competitor's name here instead, and I won't be back. Like it was a big deal, and would really hurt our feelings / business. We would simply tell them that we don't want them back, and they should enjoy the food from the other shop. We own both shops. Okay, that last line made it pretty awesome. Worked part-time at a thrift store. Got cursed out by a customer yelling, "Why don't you get a real job?" Replied with, "Why don't you go yell at a real store," in the most tired deadpan voice. This happened a few times. Work for a moving company. Customers always get mad when we don't have the equipment available for them when they show up last minute with no reservation. Well, I'll just go to competitor's name. Would always reply with exact directions, "Great, they are a block north, on the right side. You can't miss them." Never failed to get a disgusted scoff, but we would always see them again in an hour or so to set up a reservation when competitors didn't have any equipment either. They came back. I don't think I could go back if I was an asshole like that. I'm never coming back here again. Great. We don't want you back here. Table of 10. Sunday brunch. Fancy restaurant. I'm hungover. A crowd swarms in at opening and my whole section is sat at once. I'm efficient and cool. I'm used to this. I get to the big table and preface that water is being brought as we speak, then begin taking everyone's drink order. As I'm taking orders around the table, one woman blurts out that she wants water and not to forget the water, interrupting her friends and family as they make their requests. I acknowledge her each time until after the 4th time saying, "If you ask for water again, I'll make sure everyone here gets water." But she sinks back in her chair, looking dumbfounded, and I go, put in the order, then head to the bar. If I owned a service-oriented business, I'd make sure that my employees could respond exactly as the customers talk to them first. This is great. Obligatory, not me, but rude lady to gay cashier. "Sorry, I don't speak gay cashier. Don't worry, I'm fluent in bitch." This one's the only one that made me go, oh shit. Not at a restaurant, but at booth here, having education week lady, snapping fingers to student employee, "Tell me where the Marriott Center is." Student employee, snapping back, "Try again." Sounds like education week was a success. Woman complained about her cocktail, saying she couldn't taste the alcohol. Could we make it stronger? It was already a double, but we added a splash. She still couldn't taste it. Could we add more? She was obviously drunk when she arrived and angling to get more drunk as cheap as possible. Which is why I took her cocktail, apologized that it wasn't to her liking, and said I'd take it off her bill, effectively cutting her off for the night. A bartender I used to work with hated when customers did this. So he used to pour a little liquor down in the straw, giving the illusion more liquor was poured into the drink. Everclear drip down the straw FTW. Back quote, "I'd watch out if I were you. I know your manager." Back quote, "I know him too, so what?" I used to regularly have people complain to my boss. He would just say, "Good to hear he's doing his job." My manager gave a customer credit for an order, then blocked her from delivery, so she never was able to use it. Awesome. I worked at an athletic wear store one time and someone tried to return 2 jackets I just knew hadn't sold. They were Carmelo Anthony Jordan jackets still at full price. I asked the lady and her son where they came from and said the teen's father bought them at this store. I asked her to call him and you could see she looked nervous. She was shaking with her phone and I don't know if she made the call or not. So I verified in inventory that we had the jackets shelved still been in store and made sure they weren't on the rack while I had another manager watch them and hold the merch. She said the dad said they came from here and I was like cool, I just have to put a store number in when there's no receipt. Then I showed them a merchandise credit for something near $200 and told them it'd be there when they decided to find something he liked more. Then I used the merch credit number to buy the jackets back to reset my inventory to one of each. Had a girl ordering a pina colada and then complaining about the coconut. She didn't like coconut. So I got her another drink and she goes, "What are you going to do with that one? Will you throw it away?" I just looked at her, told her that I do like coconut, and took a sip. I was a witness to a silent owning that I get giddy thinking of. Buddy of mine serving a table and the kid is around 8 to 10. Gives her an adult glass for her apple juice. Dad pipes up and says he doesn't want her having all that sugar, so he needed to take it away and come back with a kid-sized one. My friend replied that the glasses are the same size, the adult size just looks bigger because they have thick bottoms. The dad responds that the adult glass is clearly bigger, and like I said I don't want her to have all that sugar. My buddy is an asshole. He gives a super deliberate exaggerated nod, says nothing and marches to our little service alley behind the bar and re-emerges with a kid's cup, said sit down beside the glass, picks up the glass and pours the adult glass, lifting it progressively higher until the last drops he drops from like a foot over the glass, and darts the fuck off to the kitchen without even looking at the guy like didn't even exist. I died. Edit, now that I think about it, he's a redditor. He blew up maybe 7 to 10 years ago for giving his dog with terminal cancer a bacon wrap last meal. Don't know his to give him proper cred. That's such a great way to tell the guy to fuck off. This made me grin. I bet that felt amazing for your friend. I had one of those women that complain about their food hoping to get it camped, which she did. But then she asked for a to-go box. I said I thought you didn't like your meal, are you sure you want to take it home? She got pissed. I should have refused to give her the box, but I was new, so I boxed it for her. No tip of course. I worked at a restaurant in my hometown for years, and the most common rude thing customers would pull was lifting their empty cup with ice in it and shaking it at me, implying they needed a refill. My response was always the same. Are you making music, or did you need something? Use your words, shats. I'm not your dog. Not at a restaurant, but as a parking attendant at a ski resort I was allowed to clap back. The best one went like this. Guy, why can't I just park there? Me, because we have a bunch of school buses full of kids coming later, and we need to reserve this space for them. Guy, but I'm a good driver, come on, there's no parking anywhere else. Me, yes there is, you'll just have to walk a little bit further from your car to the lift. Guy, but I don't want to. Me, too bad, *LEAVES for the bathroom, and comes back finding Guy and family getting ready where I told them not to park. Guy, *SMIRKS at ME me, *FILLS out a parking ticket, and places it on his windshield in front of HIM Guy, hey what the hell man? Me, move your car, now, or I'll tow it too. I would have gone straight to towing it when he went into the resort. Let him handle it and figure it out. I once saw an extremely rude guy picking on waitresses and just being a total dick. There was however one male waiter, whom he promptly summoned. Guy, another beer. Waiter, sorry, no more left. Guy, horse shit, bring me the fucking beer. Waiter, no more left for you. He then walked off, leaving the guy to himself. The rude dude then left the place quietly to my great surprise. Maybe not the most powerful comeback, but it was amusing to watch. Not sure if this one's that great. but it felt good. A lady was complaining about her drink, claiming it didn't taste right. I think it was too strong for her, and she was ashamed to admit it. We have no problem pouring a new one, but she wanted to swap it out for a completely different, much more expensive drink. I explained to her she would have to pay the difference, but she refused, saying that we messed up her drink and she should get a free one. After arguing for about 5 minutes, I finally started to walk away. She then started demanding for a manager, which is me. Then she was like, "Well, I want to talk to your boss." So I said, "Then go find him." She said, "So I'm the customer, you're the employee, and you're telling me to find your boss?" I looked her in the eye and said yes. Like dead on, and then walked away. Mayo. She ended up leaving. Not me, but my manager. Woman comes in every Sunday and complains every Sunday. This past time, she said, "I won't be coming back." And he goes, "Alright, I'll see you next week." So did she ever come back? Yes, the very next week. And of course complained about our wait time, even though she knows damn well Sundays are our busiest days. The church crowd is easily one of the most entitled group of people generally speaking, and she is a part of it. Every Sunday. Way back in the day, when I worked in food service, we had a customer who got a salad, and when she was finished placed one of her hairs in the bowl, in order to get it refunded, and got the complimentary "I'm sorry" free bakery item. She did this every day. Finally the DM sat down at her table and told her this was her last day eating in the cafe. They would refuse her refund today and refuse her service in the future. She started to say something about the customer always being right, and he just put up a hand to cut her off and said, "You cause us to lose money every day. You're absolutely not our customer, you are a liability, and you are no longer welcome here. Why don't you get a real job?" Now, if I did that, what would you have to bitch and be mad about? This shows how little that person knows of the work you do. It's insulting. Bunch of drunks making a mess, wasting our time, and harassing other tables. Me, the manager, has decided all off, you need to leave. We reserve the right to refuse service to anyone, and your behavior warrants it. Loudest drunk. Fuck it, we're never gonna come back to this shithole. Me, that's exactly the point. Please leave. Yeah, this is unfortunately common at the brewery I work at. Once we had a whole high school reunion. 100-ish people show up unannounced and proceed to be incredibly rude / get too drunk / refuse to pay. One guy who got cut off said that he was the head of the alumni committee, sure bud, and say that if he doesn't get served he will never invite people to the brewery ever again. We have never been more happy to not serve a customer. When they say that they know places that are cheaper, I replied, I have customers that pay more. I usually just rolled my eyes and went with okay, but a couple times I got super fed up and said, "That's okay, you don't have to eat here, but just flag me down if you want to." This one. Someone needs to say this to my dad every once in a while. Rude customer, I don't like, insert literally anything here, is owner in. I know him. Me, overly excited, OMG same, I know him too. Hairs, not here, but him, the manager, on today so ill, help you out. I absolutely love this one. Going to use it next shift. Haha, I hate name droppers. Half the time, said boss has no bloody idea who they are. We had sweet biscuits with icing on top. Every weekend this lady comes in, wants them fresh, with extra icing. But every time something is wrong, the main complaint being it's too cold, probably due to the extra icing being on top of it, which we have told her repeatedly. Well, this last time she came in, we give her the biscuit, fresh out the oven, loaded down with icing, and she still says it's cold. The manager tells her the only way to get it any hotter would be to melt the icing in the microwave, which we refuse to do. The lady has a conniption, demanding to know why. My manager, God love her, says because sugar is hotter than the 7 suns of hell when it's heated up like that, and no matter how much you deserved it, I be damned if I give you an excuse to have a lawsuit against us. Hey, I used to work for a pizza place and someone came in and requested every ingredient we had on a medium. We told him that the pizza would either have undercooked toppings or a burnt crust. He said he didn't care. So we made it and ran it through the oven once, and just like we said, it had undercooked toppings. A few minutes later he comes back and says, yeah, I fucked up. Can I just get a meat lovers and paid for both? It's only one of the only times I have seen someone take responsibility like that.